Hello, I'm Joe Williams from the Fire Brigades Union. I'm here in Bloomsbury, London, where officials from across the country have just finished a meeting updating them on the union's work and in particular the pensions campaign. I'm joined by the General Secretary, Matt Wrack. Matt, how was today's meeting and what was discussed?
Yeah, we had an important meeting today. Officials from every brigade, every region, every section came to London to hear reports on a whole range of issues, including cuts and so on, but particularly around the question of pensions. And I think it's useful to just brief members on where we are. There has been a bit of a pause, undoubtedly, and I think one thing that was reflected is members are crying out for information. I understand that. So it's a very frustrating. It's been a very long, difficult campaign, and I suppose I want to pay tribute to the members who've stuck with the union, which means we're still in there, we're still campaigning, we're still fighting to improve the position on pensions. And what's been happening since January, we had our last strike in January. Following that, we were invited to talks, and the Department for Communities and Local Government, which is the Westminster department dealing with pensions for us, has then engaged with us on some of the detail around the pension scheme proposals that they're making. So that has involved going to specialist actuaries. Actuaries are the people who calculate pension costs and values and so on. And to look at whether there are ways that we can improve the pension proposals that the government are making. And to be fair to DCLG, they have, it seems, invested some time and resources and money into going to their actuaries to get those things looked at. So this might mean, for example, and there's a whole range of issues being looked at, but that might mean improving the mechanisms for people accessing their pension early. So obviously one of the big concerns we've got is about people working to 60. We're saying people can't work to 60 in large numbers. So we've been trying to see whether there are ways of making it easier and better and more financially viable for people to access their pension, for example, at 55, 56 or whatever. I think it's important. So that's one angle of what we've been doing. It's important that members know we have not given up on any angle of or aspect of the pensions campaign. So we're continuing to discuss with our legal advisors whether there are legal challenges to different aspects. And I talk to members regularly. I know the issues which particularly anger members about the pensions that they were promised being taken off them. So we're exploring all of that. It has taken quite a bit of time. And we were hoping, we met with the Department for Communities and Local Government on the 19th of March, and we were hoping by that stage we would either have a proposal or be very close to getting a proposal. And just to be clear, I think our conference has been clear, and the instructions therefore to the Executive Council and then to us as the negotiators is our job is to go in and see if we can improve the position, and that's what we've been trying to do. Unfortunately, things have been derailed a little bit because of some developments in the budget.
Okay, this is a hefty looking document with the HM Treasury written on it. What exactly is contained in that?
Yeah, so what we've got is a document called Freedom and Choice in Pensions, which comes from the Treasury, and it's a public consultation document. And people may have seen the press reports about freeing up people's pension pots on retirement. And what's been in the press is the angle of this, which people would be, instead of having to buy annuities, this is people in private sector defined contribution schemes that on retirement, instead of having to buy annuities, they would be able to access the lump sum and do what they want with it. However, the complication is that the other side of that is that to enable that to go through, the government is also changing the tax laws to say that people would not be able to do that from until the age of 57. So it would alter the tax regime for pensions in those circumstances from 55 to 57. And the difficulty in this document is it goes on to look at whether that should be applied across the board in other pension schemes, and it specifically asks the question as to whether the change to minimum pension age should be applied to all pension schemes which qualify for tax relief, which also includes our pension schemes and all public sector pension schemes. And it also suggests should the minimum pension age be increased further, for example, so it's 5 years below state pension age. So To be honest, we don't know, and we're still talking to our lawyers, we're talking to DCLG. We have a meeting set up with the Treasury now to work out what does this document mean for our discussions with the Fire Minister about our pensions.
Okay, so what next for the campaign? Seems to be plenty of work still to do then.
Is that all options are still there. I think that the responsibility now lies with government. We've been talking to government about improving the position, improving their proposals. If they did so, then we would have to take that to our members, and our members would decide what they do about it. If the government, after all this time, don't do that, then to be honest, we're back where we started from, and our campaign carries on. What we've made clear to the government throughout all of this is that their proposals don't take account of the fire service, don't take account of the jobs that our members do, or the high levels of contribution they're already paying. We've told them, therefore, that that's unacceptable. We've been trying to get a compromise out of them. If that compromise isn't forthcoming, then we'll have to continue our campaign, I think. I'd urge all members, all branches, to carry on with those discussions and make sure that they're ready, make sure they're carrying on lobbying MPs, and make sure they're keeping themselves informed, and make sure, that if necessary, they're ready to carry on with that fight.
Okay, remember you can find all the information as it's updated on the website fbu.org.uk, or you can follow us on Twitter on @FBU National. Thanks very much.
Together we don't stand there.